Welcome back to Bobblehead Homestead. I am Jeff. We are getting caught up on all the things that did and did not happen during my 8-month sabbatical. So yeah, now I have the skid steer home, and all of the things that didn't happen, I was waiting on the skid steer. So the skid steer's home. Now let's talk about this. That is a stump bucket, and I used it for the first time. We got the skid steer here, and here's some footage of me out testing it out. But first, let me show you a close-up on this thing. A stump bucket. Yes, and I bought this. Was this the first thing? Yeah, this was the first thing I got. I have this stump bucket. I have the regular bucket that comes with it, and then I have a grapple, and that's all I have right now. But the reason why I wanted this stump bucket is this is what you use to take down trees and to take out stumps, and that is a lot of what I need to do around here. So you can see there are 3 teeth, and it's, I don't know, maybe a foot across down in there at the bottom, and then you've got these jagged teeth going up the sides of it, and it is strong. Made here locally, got it from a guy over in Danville. It's also where I got the grapple. Hey Bob. But yes, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have any experience on a skid steer, let alone a skid steer with a stump bucket. What I have done is I've watched tons and tons of YouTube videos. So after watching all those videos, let's take a look at the first footage of me seeing if I can have any success with the stump bucket on the Caterpillar 257B. probably get the idea of what I'm trying to do. You just kind of dig around the stump until you loosen it up, and you can just pop it right out. The same technique is supposed to work for a tree. You just dig around the the roots to loosen it up, and then you push that tree over. Well, I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm not, I'm going to test it out on stumps, not on a tree that can fall on top of me. So that's what I was doing. The couple next door, they are preparing for more development on their land, and they had a few stumps for me to practice on. And so that's exactly what I did. That first one was just, man, the skid steer, it tears up everything where you're working. Those tracks, especially if it'll be interesting when it's dry, but if there's any type of moisture on the ground, it's going to rip up everything where you're working at. So we chose the first spot kind of out of the way where they wouldn't mind if everything got ripped up, to test it out once I got home. So yeah, we got that done, and then it rained. So I don't, like I said, if the ground's wet, those tracks just rip up everything where you're going. So, when it's raining, it's a good time to just let it rest for a couple days. And then we got back at it, and we did some more stumps that they're going to have, they're preparing their land. I can't be, telling everybody his business, but I already asked them I can talk about this. So yeah, we took out one stump, and then the next session we took out 3 more stumps that were going to be in the way for their future progress. So here's some more action with the Caterpillar skid steer with the stump bucket on it. What do you think, new Bob? What do you think? He doesn't know what to think. He likes following me around. So now that I'm making videos again, I'm sure they will be happy about that. Okay, so I did some practicing on stumps because these are the trees that I need to take out. I'm out here in the front yard. We got the lane, we got the power lines, and I need fencing. Fencing. That was the whole reason why I got Bob. No, that was the whole reason why I got that skid steer, was fencing. So some of you will remember I hired a forestry mulcher, skid steer, and a bulldozer to come over here for a few days and clear out my fencing line so that I could put fencing in. And that was great. But I learned how much it costs to hire skid steers and bulldozers, and that's why I bought the skid steer, so that I could finish that job. These pine trees are kind of close to the power lines here, and so the power company comes through and trims them. I'd just like to get them out of the way and then put a fence line right up through here, up to that pine tree. And so they'll probably be, well, I'm not going to map it out for you, but that was the whole purpose of getting the skid steer, was for the fences. So you know, when I got it, it was just the air conditioning. It was, you know, the end of May, we were going into June. There were 90 plus degree temperatures, and that thing with an enclosed cab, it's just I knew that you know, that air conditioning had to be fixed if anything was going to get done in the heat of the summer. So the plan when I bought it was, we'll just get the AC fixed real quick, and then we'll bring it home and test it out on a quick job to get me ready for fences. And you know, things don't always go your way. They don't always go your way. So here I am. My number one priority was the fences, and I still haven't really made a dent in it. So that's why I got that stump bucket and the grapple, because once these trees are down, then you can pick them up with the grapple and move them where you want them to go. I'll probably do a burn pile over there, which will also, there's some hugel culture over there, so that burn pile will provide ashes. And yeah, you know, I try to think through all these things. So yes, that is that's the purpose of the stump bucket and the grapple, to get these trees out so that I can run a fence line here. And then also I've got all of this down debris. So you've got trees down, and then, you know, smaller ones and branches and limbs, and you know, you still got stuff sticking up. So there's a lot of debris that the rake and grapple will take out. And I've been over here a few times, just kind of putzing around. I got to learn what I'm doing. There's a pile right there that was the root grapple that, you know, it'll dig into the ground, and I got some footage of that. Yeah, let's take a quick look at the grapple footage. Yeah, and you can see how that grapple, there's a lot of thin stuff, you know, old trees that are popping back up, and just, you know, running that a few inches below the surface, that grapple will just rip out everything right out of the roots and all. It's a root grapple. So yeah, fencing has been number one, and it still is number one. Is there a ribbon over there? Other direction, there it is. That's my original property line. So that's where the fence line, you know, I want to run the fence all the way back there, and then over, and then to behind the house, and then it'll be kind of an L-shaped fenced-in area. But yeah, that's why I bought that skid steer instead of hiring people to do it. And now I've had to wait and wait and wait on that skid steer. I've had to wait and wait and wait on my fences. And so it was just better to, you know, wait instead of making videos telling everybody I'm waiting. Speaking of waiting, I've got some information to give you before we close out this video. Dude, get off the camera, get in that skid steer and get to work. Oh man, I wish I could. Let's take a look around it. You saw some video of me testing this thing out, testing myself out, and I got about 10-12 hours. You know, somebody who knows what they're doing probably could have done as much work as I did in a half an hour, but hey, you gotta learn. So yeah, successful with the root grapple and with the stump bucket, and I'm learning and getting more comfortable and getting a little less scared of tipping this thing over. And then we had a couple issues, and now I'm waiting on repairs again. So these are called rollers. As you can see, there are rollers instead of you know, rubber tires, and the roller in the back corner there came off. That'll happen. That will happen, and I'll have to replace these treads and blah blah blah. So that roller came off, and so now you know, we ran it for probably another hour after that roller came off and didn't really notice it. But you know, you do your internet searches and discover that, you know, you can ruin your track, and those tracks are like $2,000. So that has grounded the skid steer for now. Wiley came down and did some consulting with me. So I've ordered 2 new rollers. We're going to replace both of them on the back end there, and that's something he can do. We just have to jack it up. You got to take the track off, and then have the right tools to put the new rollers back on there. So that's the main issue why it's grounded right now. But there's another issue we discovered also. This Caterpillar is equipped with what is called a quick connect for these attachments. So while you're sitting inside the cab there, you can take the stump bucket off and go put a regular bucket or something else on it. So it's got these pistons, and you can see that shiny thing right there. So that's those, you know, lock it and unlock it, and there's one on each side. So you can lock it and unlock it from inside the cab, and that way, because otherwise you have to get out every time you switch an attachment and do it manually. So that's one of the great features this thing has. However, this one over here, this piston cylinder, has started leaking, and the Caterpillar dealership noticed that. But they said, just, you know, go with it until it becomes a bigger problem. Well, it didn't take long for that to become a bigger problem. But yeah, that's something that Wiley can replace. So, and his thankfully, thank you, Wiley, his labor hours are cheaper than the Caterpillar dealership. So I've got the parts here now, and we're just waiting for Wiley to have the time to come down here and tackle it. Make all the plans you want, but things are gonna happen. Yeah, so now I'm waiting on the some more skid steer repairs. I've got the parts here, so hopefully it won't be all that long. And we've got a bunch of rain in the forecast anyway. So yeah, who knows? Who knows? A lot of times, you know, the weather is going to dictate what you're doing. But the next thing I want to do is take out the pine trees. There's a nice, it's probably an oak. I'm going to leave the hardwoods, but these smaller pine trees that are close to the power lines, I'm going to get a bunch of those out in that area. There's a dozen or so. And I'm hoping that Wiley will come down here and be my guinea pig. He knows what he's doing. He's done this stuff before. I've never taken down a tall tree with one of those. It can be done though, but I would like to watch somebody do it before I give it a try. I'm getting comfortable with the digging part around the, you know, around the stump, but I don't know about pushing that. Yeah, so I would hopefully like to get him to teach me. Need a few lessons on this skid steer, and yeah. So that'll be what's coming up, is getting rid of these trees, and then using the grapple to clear fence lines, so that and again, I don't have an auger on the skid steer. I'm still up in the air on what kind of fences I'm going to use, so I'm still researching that. I'm leaning towards electric fencing with the multiple strands going up, but yeah, you know, we'll see what the budget allows, because that, you know, 2 of those rollers and a cylinder, you don't even want to know how much that costs. So every time something like that happens, my budget for this other stuff goes down. But that is the first project that I would like to get going on. I've wanted these for 8-9 months now. That was fencing was the whole reason why I hired that forestry mulcher and the bulldozer. It was the main reason why I bought the skid steer. So I am anxious, anxious to start getting my money's worth on the skid steer. Although it's already been a lot of fun. All right, I will stop yapping for now. Who knows when I'll see you again. Now I can start giving you updates on, you know, the cats and the baby chicks. Yeah, there we go. Got to go back to the baby chicks. And speaking of cats, here's one of the neighbor's cats. So thanks for watching. Thanks for everything. Take it easy. Which one are you? That is, so they have Milo and Captain Hook, Cappy, or Cap for short, and Captain Hook, Cappy, has a crooked tail. Oh, firing up their Dodge that he's working on. So yeah, all 4 of the cats get along pretty well. They all grew up and played together, and mine go over there and steal food, and theirs come over here and steal food, and that is Cappy. Hey, Cappy. Hey, come here. Come here, kitty. Come here, kitty. Yeah, they're good boys, too. Yeah, you are. Are you going to come visit me? Are you going to come visit me? Yeah. Well, take your time. Here he comes. Meow. Meow. Well, now you gotta stay put so I can give you scratches. Come here, little buddy. Come here, little buddy. Meow, meow. There he is. Now he's flopping. Now he's flopping. Now he's flopping.